I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And we'll start with the approval of the minutes from the regular board meeting March 14th. I will entertain a motion to approve.
I'll move to approve the minutes from the last board meeting.
Do I hear a second?
I will second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to approve the minutes of the regular board meeting of March 14th. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. We'll move on to the general fund vouchers. 73,281 through 73,348. Wire transfers 151,60319 through 151,60347. And activity fund vouchers 2369 through 2384.
They look good. Brent and I went over. I will move.
I will second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to approve the general fund vouchers as listed. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Then we'll move on to the public comment, question, concern section. I didn't see anybody signed up. Does anybody have anything? If not, then we will move on to the spotlight on education. Josh, you want to head that one up?
Yes. All right, so this board meeting, the Spotlight in Education, we'd like to recognize the State Music Festival qualifier. So this time I'm going to turn over to Mr. Larson to introduce that.
What do you want to know? Well, between band and choir, we had 12 different events qualify. I think 11 different people, including the only junior high person in our side of the conference. There was only one junior high person from any school, not just from our school, from any school. And that was my daughter Beth, so she qualified. I will introduce the band students. Let's see, we have Maggie Burr and Seth Erickson. Stand up, please.
Yeah.
And Seth Erickson, and is Megan Zimmer here? Okay. And Megan Zimmer would be one. Kate Peterson and Andrew Bruce. And then I will let Mrs. Berg introduce all of her choir people, because there's a lot of them. So go
Should I
ahead.
just say their names, or would you like to know the events? Or?
How about both?
Both, yeah.
Okay. Katie Keller is going for her classical solo and her music theater solo. Beth Larson, who is our 8th grader, that is qualified for her classical solo. Marissa has qualified for her classical solo. Claire Eckert has qualified for her musical theater solo. Andrew Renteria has qualified for his classical solo and his musical theater solo. Jacob Myers qualified for his classical solo. Any other solos? I know. Any other solos? Andrew Renteria and Claire Eckert also have a duet that qualified. And Katie Keller, Marissa Altendorfer, Jacob Myers, and Andrew Renteria had a quartet that qualified. So we had a really, really great night, and really proud of these kids.
Right. We looked at over the stats, and not to necessarily, it's not really a competition, but Cameron had the highest number of state entrants from ours, followed by us, and then I think Clayton. And we were pretty close to, I think Cameron had 14 state in, 14 events, and I think we had 11. So we did pretty comparable there. So just very, very proud of these kids and the hard work. There were other ones that we felt could have gone as well.
Lots of on the border.
Yeah, there were a lot of kids that were really, really close. And it just speaks volumes to the amount of work that they put in and the amount of support support we get from their parents and everything for the hard work that they do for the music program. And we do plan on, you won't hear every one of these events in upcoming concerts, but you will hear a lot of them as we get a chance to showcase them at our upcoming concerts and stuff. March is Music in Our Schools Month. I felt like we represented that pretty well, considering that we had large group festival and our spring concert for junior high and our spring concert for senior high and our high school solo ensemble. So for us, it really was Music in Our Schools. Okay. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice job, everybody.
And as we dig into the meat of the meeting, if any of you guys want to get going, feel free to take off.
Thanks for coming in.
All right, so now then we'll move on to our old recurring business here. Update on mission and vision.
Okay, so just update on the mission and vision. We have surveyed multiple stakeholder groups. We've surveyed the faculty, the Board of Education. We sent the survey out to the community and parent group. We also surveyed some of the student population, and we're going to be compiling all that information and identifying some themes out of that information. And we've set up a date for May 3rd to be that workshop where we're going to open it up to the community and really open it up to all stakeholder groups. On May 3rd from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock in the elementary building. We thought that'd be a nice opportunity to kind of showcase the renovations that have taken place in the elementary building too. So from 5 to 7 we'll have a workshop where we'll kind of share some of that information that we've compiled, look for some feedback, and then from 7 to 8 kind of have an open house style where people are free to kind of move about the building to see some of the newly, if they haven't already, some of the renovated portions of the building. So a flyer will be going out through email to the staff. A flyer will be going out to the parent and community. We'll post it similar to like a job posting, so it'll be in the papers for people to see. It's for an invite. Then we're holding another mission and vision in-house just within the district next week, Monday, after school, to kind of look at some of that data that we've compiled. So things are moving ahead, and I'm excited to see kind of where it's going. It's been fun to see the common themes that all the stakeholder groups have identified as what they believe to be or should be kind of the core value areas. So it's been fun.
Good. Any questions? Okay, then we'll move on to the second item of old business, the approval for budgeting consultation. Josh, I'll hand that back to you again.
Yeah, so at this time I just request for the board to approve consultation for me as I move forward and continue to wrap my head around the budget. Being about 3 months in, there are pieces to that and variables to the puzzle with just specific to the Clear Lake budget. So at this time I'm really asking to have consultation with the former superintendent. And I'm looking for 2 half-days, maybe even 1 half-day, but ideally 2 half-days at this time to go over some of those pieces that I can't get assistance from other superintendents around the state that I've been looking to for advice and asking questions. And so that's what I'm looking at right now, or looking for the board to.
How much?
Right now I'd like 2 half-days is kind of my best guess that I would be looking to bring in.
In dollars.
Well, it'd be at the I don't have the exact numbers. The consultation rate, it kind of varies. This CISA's, quite a bit more expensive, I believe. I'd have to look into that. But I don't have exact numbers yet. I wanted to get at least approval to go down that road, and then I can get numbers for the board and bring it back to the board if you guys would like that.
Have you talked to Brad to see what he would want?
Yep, I reached out to him to see, and I didn't get an exact number at this point, but I can look into getting that. So I wasn't sure, I wanted to make sure before I move forward to get approval from the board.
And you can't ask the WASB, the superintendent?
Yep, I can, and I've reached out to multiple superintendents that that I know, which has been a huge help, but I think there's pieces within, kind of using the analogy of flying a plane, blindly. I don't want to sound naive, but
They're pretty helpful.
they've been great. I have, a couple friends of mine that are superintendents, but they work full-time jobs, and they don't know the intricacies of the Clear Lake District and the building.
Probably since the last time we talked about this at the board level, Josh, you've probably gone out and sought the information that you've had to, and gotten to a point where now it would be helpful if you could get the other piece of the pie in order to be confident in the decisions that you make going forward.
Yep, and
are the correct ones.
Yeah, and I think you're right on. I don't necessarily think you guys know me that well yet, but I am someone that will be successful. It's just a matter of, figuring things out. It's not if. I mean, I will be successful, but I need to, I've talked to multiple superintendents. I've been, on the phone with a handful of people. I'm not one that is too proud to ask for assistance, help, questions. I've been on the phone with WASD, WASB. I'm constantly, calling different people and getting information, and feel like a sponge. A lot of information coming at me, and it's been a fantastic transition for me into this position.
So am I to understand that Brad's unwilling to help you without being paid? That's what you're saying?
No, I guess I didn't ask that. It just, I think past practice in the district, the past superintendents that have been contracted in, and I think in order for me to be successful, I think that would be a piece of the puzzle that I'm really looking for.
Well, I don't see any reason why we shouldn't allow Josh to go out and bring some of the information that, why was this done in this budget? Why, where is this coming from? We'd like to give Josh all the tools necessary to create a great budget, and know going forward. So I see no reason why we shouldn't let him consult with Brad. Would be nice to get some dollar figures so we can approve $1 for you, but I don't see why we shouldn't.
I agree with all the tools. I'm just surprised that he wouldn't come and help the guy out.
Shouldn't that be a courtesy from the outgoing to the ingoing, that he would help you just to help the district?
I think past practice, every prior superintendent, for sure in this Clear Lake District, has been contracted. I think usually it's typically 10 days is what I've heard, or what I've looked into as far as within the Clear Lake District. And at this point, I think I would, 2 half-days I think really would be enough for me to get me going. I really do, because I think it's mid-January 1 start date. The budget, coming in, I said that was an area that I'm definitely not as well versed in, and I think for me, just the small things of where things can get shifted, I think is the big piece of the puzzle for me, because a lot of the the meat of it, I've slowly been wrapping my head around, that part of the process, but it's the little pieces of the shifting and shuffling of, approving things, and I don't want to just be approving things based on the good or bad feelings that I get in my stomach. I want to know numbers, and I want to make sure we're making good decisions that I'm making good decisions for the district.
Yeah, I get that.
I just think it's foolish if we have someone available not to use them. I'd be curious to know what that cost is, but
I mean, if you guys are more comfortable.
You have a resource, the best resource to do it, you should use it. Yeah.
And one way you could go about it is approve $1,000 cap. I think that would be plenty, and I would pretty confident that I wouldn't even need that, but I think that's, at least it's a spot for the board to feel comfortable that knowing that it wouldn't go over $1,000.
I don't know if we're necessarily that concerned about the dollar amount of, if it, not that we're not, but what I'm saying is, I think we've probably got enough faith in you to go ahead and solicit what you need and make sure it's within the boundaries of what you feel, a consultant would get, you work with multiple consultants and there's a range of prices you pay. We'll find out what it costs later on. If it's something that's, I don't know, I guess what I'm saying is for my chair, I'd say, go ahead and do what you gotta do. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
I think it could hurt you way more, worse than the cost in the long run if
I
it's not
agree.
done right.
Mhm.
So, yeah,
And right now, you know, because I didn't start at the beginning of the year, we're in crunch time right now. I mean, this is the time where decisions are starting to, districts are posting jobs, districts are, you know, making kind of big ticket dollar items. And it'd be extremely beneficial to me in my role right now to have somebody come in that's done it.
So you're thinking $1,000 or less?
Yeah, I really am.
Okay.
All right.
All right, then I'll entertain a motion to approve Josh to get some consulting.
Go ahead.
I will move to approve Josh getting consulting not to exceed $1,000.
I'll second that.
It's been properly moved and seconded for Josh to go out and get some budgeting from our prior superintendent, Brad Ayer. Under $1,000. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you. Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome, Josh. All right, we'll move on then to new business. Considerations, approval of purchasing a school bus.
Okay, so the next couple items are, you know, kind of directly related to the what I was just talking about. You know, these aren't, I'm not looking for these to be approved, just wanted to bring them to the table so you're aware that these potentially may come to the board for board approval. The school bus is the only one that we're seeking board approval. So we've looked at, actually it's 3 quotes, not 2 quotes, but 2 companies that gave us 3 different quotes, approximately $83,000. So at this time, looking for the board to approve that, and then towards the tail end of the year, we would determine, you know, whether we would pay in full for that bus or if it would be half the bus cost would be part of this year's budget, and then the second half, the bus purchase would be part of next year's budget.
Isn't that how we set it up, Josh?
Yeah, but based on how much, you know, money we have at the end of the year is kind of, I think
Right.
will dictate how much we put into that purchase price.
And is this a replacement for one that's being retired or additional?
It's a replacement. I can let Art speak to that side of things.
Yeah, bus number 8 would be replaced with the 2000. It's seen its better days.
Is there a maximum time that you can have in Wisconsin? Okay.
No, it's just that they have to go through a yearly inspection.
Right.
And we just had ours in January, everything passed inspection and stuff. There was some issues with it that's gonna be really bad next year. Unfortunately, in Wisconsin, we rely on salt to keep our roads clear, and that kind of takes a toll on these buses after a while.
And this was budgeted in, it was part of, you know, Art and Brad had been working on this for, I think, the last year, possibly 2.
Every 2 years, we look at getting a new bus and stuff like that. Our oldest bus would be on the routes, would be, going with this current plan, would be 16 years old before we put it off and use it as an extracurricular bus.
Can you talk about the difference in the quotes?
The quotes are between a Bluebird and an International bus. They're pretty much spec'd out the same engine, same transmission, braking system, ride, interior, everything's pretty much the same on. It's just the 2 different companies, Bluebird being a little bit more pricey than International, but they've all come pretty close on the same price and stuff. There's a third one there from International, that's a stock unit that they have on site there. It has a few more options on it than what we usually put on and stuff. We try to put the full acoustic ceilings in, the stainless steel brackets, mostly for the longevity, keeps the rust down and stuff like that. We went with an air ride, air brake system last time, and that seems to be working pretty good.
So this $84,000 one is the one that's on lot, that's got a few extra bells and
That's
whistles?
it, yep. But the other 2 would be built and delivered sometime around that July to September timeframe and stuff.
So which one should we take a serious look at here? Which one of these three quotes?
The first two, I think the Bluebird and I think that one was 83.3 or 83.4, and the other one was 82.7. They're pretty much comparable to that. Tom Osmond drives that new one that we have. He really likes the Vision. And a couple other drivers that have driven that seem to like that bus too. It's a little bit more expensive, but the Bluebirds, the finish has been out past in the internationals by 4 or 5 years easy.
So the extra $800 might be worth it?
Yeah, I think so. We've had good luck with it, good parts and sales, and then service afterwards. Always had, anytime we had a problem, the Cummins guys been here from International, from Bluebird, come and fix it, take care of it, no problem.
Okay.
What happens with the old bus?
We'll put that out for bids, see what we can get for them and stuff.
They don't take a trade?
No, they don't give nothing for trade. We have 2 buses right now that we're in the process of selling, an old gas bus that this guy, we're equivalent over $200 right now, and I said, I know he's gonna pay it. And I thought the diesel would go for more money, and I can't get nobody to take a look at that one. You know, they're saying, well, it should go in the scrap, and I just can't see sending it to scrap. I can get somebody to buy it for a lot more than what scrap price is, about $800.
So you're looking for a motion to purchase a bus, and then we'll figure it out later as to
Yeah.
when how much we're gonna pay?
Yep.
That kind of the deal?
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Okay.
Okay, that being said, then I'll entertain a motion to purchase a bus.
I'll move we buy the Bluebird.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to buy the Bluebird bus. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. And then we'll move on to a consideration discussion of purchasing a truck.
Okay, so I'm gonna turn this over to Art as well. This one is not, I'm not looking for approval, but just wanted to get it on the table so you guys were aware of the possibility. And then if we, towards the end of this year, when the budget is winding down here, which is kind of approaching pretty quickly, then I will either bring it to the board or table it for next year. So it's just looking to replace the truck. I don't even know what year is that, Art?
94.
A 94 with the
Yep.
plow on it that's used to.
It's pretty well
It,
done.
yeah. So and I don't know if you have anything else to speak on that one.
The new truck would come out here to the high school and take the place of the 2000 Ford that's out here already, with the boss, and he put a plow on it. And what we would want to replace it with is going to be either a Ford or Dodge with a 9-foot 2-inch plow, the V plow, with folding plow on there from Boss. The one out here's been working in that. I went through the plow this last year, took care of a lot of stuff, issues with it and stuff, but again, if it's used as a backup or limited service, it'd be perfect for that. And get rid of the 94, which is basically, I've welded the frame together 3 times on that half-ton and stuff. We've had that since 96. So it doesn't owe us any money. So we're looking at that, and we have a 2008 at the elementary school, and it'd be basically replacing the 2000 on it.
Okay.
Okay. Any other discussion? Okay.
The only other problem with that is, right now, between Ford, all the major 3, is getting anything built right now. They've gone past those dates of taking orders for having it built, so we wouldn't be seeing this until probably September, October. If we could get one off the lot with a few more bells and whistles on it and stuff, but we still get up from Dodge, and Ford has a state bid offer out there and stuff for those 2. Chevrolet doesn't offer that program.
Is there, what's the deadline? Or is there-
We've already gone past the
Past
deadline
it,
for
okay.
November and
Doesn't
one.
matter.
Right now, we'd have to find something close.
Sure.
Dealers can do locators and find something on the lot if we look to purchase something before the end of June.
Okay.
If not, we can place an order and then have exactly what we want for the next year. So I've got a couple bids right now, one with the plow, everything on it for $37,000, and that's a Ford. So we're looking
Okay.
at, I still haven't heard back from Dodge yet on it, but they have yet, so. But I was just getting a feel out there on how much. I think the last truck we purchased was about 27,000 with the plow. So 8 years has gone up in price a little bit.
Yep. So depending on how much money we have, then we'll visit that again, Josh. huh? Okay. All right, well, thank you, Art.
Thanks, Art.
Thanks, sir.
So the next thing then we'll move on to is consideration, discussion of junior high school parking lot repair.
Okay, so this one, the junior senior high parking lot needs repair. If you look underneath in the notes, the two quotes, there's a $10,000 quote. That one's just for the crack repair. And then there's a $23,000 sealing and painting. So, you know, kind of towards, in the next 2 months, I'll be looking, as I'm going through the budget, determining, you know, whether or not we do both of those, or just do the crack repair this year, and then look to do the sealing and the painting, resealing of the parking lot, and then the painting as well. And working with Gary, some of the painting can even be done in-house to save some costs on that. So again, at this time, just the only reason bringing it, just so you guys are aware of it, and the next month or two, it'll be either tabled for next year or brought to the board to look for approval on that one. But just wanted to give you guys kind of the approximate numbers for those two items, and that eventually they will, you know, whether it's this year or next year, need to be done.
Okay. Any other discussion? Okay, then we'll move on to consideration, discussion, approval of refurbishing the elementary gym floor.
Okay, so this one would need approval. This one, we can kind of do similar to the bus, where, you know, we can kind of decide towards the end of the year how much of the money can go towards it, or if we can put it on next year's budget or not. But due to the renovation of the elementary, that was used kind of as a storage unit, is what I've been told, and the floor really took a beating. It sounds like the junior high kiddos really stepped up to the plate and kind of were our moving crew and moved a lot of the items into the gym while other parts of the building got worked on, and did a really nice job. And then it sounds like we held a auction or some type of sale for some of the items that were in the building. And no major damage was done, but it just really threw a lot of wear and tear on the building. I think there's even portions of the paint that are completely gone, which sometimes helps, I think, in sporting events on our side of things. But, so that would just looking for board approval on that one. That whether it's in this year's budget or next year's budget, in the next month or two, I'll be determining that. But at this point, just looking for approval to.
Did Gary redo one of the two of these last time?
He does, every couple of years they redo. This one is a full-blown sanding.
Did you redo these, Gary, or?
Well, we do a recoat every year.
Yep.
This is a complete sanding and all the way down to the wood.
Restripe.
And, the 2 coats of sealer on it, and then the paint, all new paint with all, also the elementary will get additional striping. It's very, very limited right now. What's on there, there's not, it's only 1 court of basketball. We want to do 2 courts. The elementary my ed department has asked for a few more circles and such that needed to be in there. Right now there's tape on the floor, and I'm not going to allow that on the new floor. And so there's a little bit more than what you see out there. It's going to be, actually, we asked our bidders to replicate what we have here in this book. And then, but the recoats are done every year, and that's done for approximately $3,000 to $4,000. But this one is, so far I've gotten a couple bids right around the $20,000 mark. What I would ask is, I don't know, Mr. Ernst, if you would, I don't know how we were going to present this, but I would like to, if we were going to do it this year, I need to get the approval out to a vendor quickly, because they're filling up like crazy. I only 2 of them already have turned me down. And there's only about 5 people in the market really around this entire area, so they're booked up. He said they can get it for next summer, but not this summer. So if we're going to do it, we need to make an action within a couple weeks. I'm waiting for one more bid. That one's kind of slow, but
Okay.
Okay. That being said, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Absolutely, I'll move.
I will second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to refurbish the elementary gym floor. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. We'll move on to discussion of the WASB workshops.
Okay, so I just have 2 workshops on there, just wanted to make you guys aware of it. The Key Works of School Boards, number 4, WASB, which is going to be held in Turtle Lake at the CISA 11. That's on May 18th from 6 o'clock to 9. I attached a link in there for you so you guys can access it if you're looking to register. The second one would be ultimately for Nettie, the new school board member gathering, and that doesn't have a date or time because there's multiple locations and opportunities around the area. And Nettie and I can talk about that one later.
Okay. All right, then we'll move on to the approval of resignations and retirements.
Okay. This one or
It doesn't matter. You want me to do it, Chuck?
Sure.
All right, well, we've got our first one here is why don't you do that
Okay,
then?
so the first one we have is Sue Weirs, who's a 2nd grade. Is Sue in here? Nope. 2nd grade teacher. She's been in the district since 2003.
No, I think that was, I caught that as I think it's 83. And we mixed up her and Deb.
Deb. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, good catch, Mr.
I'm
Peterson.
glad I had you do that, Josh.
She can retire, I can retire.
All right. My apologies. Sue Weir is a 2nd grade teacher since 1983. Then Deb Rowell, who's a part-time custodian for this district. She's been employed since 2003. And then Eugene Cool, Gene Cool, bus driver for the district and employed since 2003 as well.
Very good. Then I'm going to read Susan's letter that she wrote us. Dear School District of Clear Lake, I will be resigning as of the last day of school this year in order to pursue my retirement. Please accept this letter as an official notification of my resignation from Gaylord A. Nelson Educational Center, Clear Lake Elementary. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank you all for the generous support, understanding, and cooperation throughout my time spent here. It has been an immense pleasure to serve as a teacher with the Clear Lake School District, and the relationships that I have formed here over the past 33 years will not be soon forgotten. I would greatly appreciate if you could forward all of the required information and documents regarding the retirement process to my home address. Once again, I would like to say that I am extremely grateful for all of your hard work, dedication, and careful consideration throughout the years. Our staff and teachers here are irreplaceable, and I leave my position at our school feeling very fulfilled and confident that our schools will continue to succeed and excel with all its educational opportunities. Thank you for everything you do for the children of this community. Best wishes, Susan Weirs. So with that, then, I will accept a motion to, or I'll entertain a motion to accept Susan's resignation.
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded that we accept Susan's resignation with many thanks. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. And then we'll move on to Deb Rowell. I'll read her letter. To whom it may concern, I hereby retire from my custodial position at Clear Lake Elementary School effective April 29th, 2016. Sincerely, Deborah Rowell. I'll accept a motion to accept her resignation.
So moved.
I'll second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that we accept Deborah Rowell's resignation. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. And then our last one, Eugene Cool. As of June 2nd, I will be retiring from school bus driving. Eugene Cool. I'll entertain a motion to accept Eugene Cool's resignation.
I will so move.
I'll do it one more time.
You do it one more
Why
time.
not?
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
With many years of thanks, it's been properly moved and seconded that we accept Eugene Kuhl's resignation. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. So many thanks to them guys for their help over the years. So we'll move on to approval of the Canvas Committee report. Canvas Committee.
Yep, just looking for approval on the documents that I provided Dave, myself, Mr. Peterson, and Ms. Nielsen helped us with that process. It was a very interesting process. I'd never been a part of one before, so kind of neat to see.
Make a motion that we accept.
I'll second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that we accept the statement of the Board of Canvassers. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. And then we'll move on to the official oath of school board member. Nettie Bergman. I hope that you're going to do this, Josh.
No,
Dave.
Dave has to.
Oh, Dave has to do it, okay.
Dave is the clerk.
So,
Nettie, you can come on up.
Yep, come on up, Nettie.
I think it's
You don't have to.
do you want to read it, or do you want me to read it?
You're supposed to read it out loud. Usually we
Take
read
it
it
real
out loud.
slow.
Yeah,
I, Nanette Grote,
the undersigned,
the undersigned.
who has been duly elected to the Board of Education of the School District
Oh, whoa,
of
whoa,
Clear Lake.
slow down.
Who has been duly elected
Who has been duly elected
to the Board of Education
to the Board of Education
of the School District of Clear Lake,
of the School District of Clear Lake,
but have not yet entered upon the duties thereof.
but have not yet entered upon the duties thereof.
Affirm,
It was a quiz.
affirm that I will support
Affirm that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States,
and the Constitution of Wisconsin,
the Constitution of
and
Wisconsin,
will faithfully discharge the duties
and will faithfully discharge the duties
of said office to the best of my ability, so help me God. Discharge, I'm sorry.
Now I'm going to read that part. Will faithfully discharge the duties of the said office to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Okay. And then you sign. Congratulations.
Nettie?
Submit that to you.
Oh.
All right, now we get to move on to Mr. Ernst superintendent notes.
Yeah. All right, so it's been a little bit. Well, first, I wanted to go over just a couple things. I received multiple calls and emails from parents and community members regarding the advanced placement program and then the open enrollment status of our district as well, so I just wanted to go over that briefly. The open enrollment status currently has 66 students that are open enrolled into the district, 54 students that have been open enrolled out of the district, so approximately $80,000 in the plus range for revenue being generated by incoming enrollment students. The advanced placement courses, this was something that, as I was asked questions about this, I quickly became extremely impressed with our own program within the district, and even actually shared some of it with my wife back home as we call each other back and forth, and a lot of it's during driving time. But so with the advanced placement program, extremely impressive program. The district has 100% passing rate for students that have been open enrolled in the AP course offerings in the last 4 years that we'd offer those. The district, the Clear Lake district itself is one of very few, if not the only, that offer all of the content areas. So if juniors and seniors, junior year they can take 2, senior year they can take another up to 2 AP courses, which really readily prepares them for post-secondary if they choose so. The Clear Lake School District sends their AP instructors to the AP conference workshop every year in order to stay up to date in best practices and curricular changes occurring in the content area. Nick Crawford, who you met during one of the Spotlight in Educations, is one of the U.S. History Certified Advanced Placement Test Reader who we have actually right on staff, which is very impressive as well. He's one of only 1,700 teachers and college professors in the United States that have that title. And then with the Clear Lake District also provides 3 English course offerings at the senior level: AP Lit and Comp, College Prep English, and then Communications. Actually, in Communications, I don't believe is an AP course offerings, but it's just a post-secondary kind of readiness class. And then these classes really better prepare our students for post-secondary choices to decide whether it's university, technical college, military, or workforce. And then what I was really extremely impressed with was the final AP exam rate. The national percentages are usually right around, what I saw was typically right around 50 to just a hair below 50%, and all 4 of our content areas. Like for 2014, 2015, we were 80%, 100%, 80%, and 50% across the board for taking that final AP exam. And then I also found out that our district pays for, I believe, up to half of that exam fee, which really encourages kids to take those tests, which not a lot of districts do that. And a lot of times students don't, they decide to not take that test at the end just of fear of not passing. But it really, within our district, we really promote taking that test, which is nice to see. So very, very impressed with both our AP students and our teachers that we have in the Clear Lake District. It was exciting to see with my own 4 kids coming into the district just what we have as far as offerings for post-secondary readiness. And then as far as things in the district, we've had a lot of stuff. Fourth quarter has begun. Spring sports are in full swing, even though we've had a couple little bit of whiteouts here along the way with snowfall, but they're in full swing. Softball and baseball had their first game. I was able to see the girls almost come from behind, but they ended up falling to Bruce, but really made a good run at it, and they were I was freezing and they looked just miserable out there, but played very well. And then the baseball team had a very exciting game against Bruce right down to the wire, so that was a fun game to watch as well. The third grade crew put on the third grade national park presentation, which was unbelievable. Went over there, I was very shocked to see what an amazing the amazing presentations that our students, not only the projects but the technology side of things, where they had whether it was a PowerPoint or I forget what the other presentation is called, but a different type of presentation. Then at the end, the kids were taking these online quizzes to kind of like a peer assessment type deal. It was really neat to see, along with the projects that they produced. The kids just seemed really excited about it. As you can imagine, most third graders are excited about their end project, but it was really very, very impressive to walk through that whole scene and watching the kids do the peer assessments and talking about their presentations. They clearly retained a lot of information throughout that assignment and throughout that unit. National Honor Society, I was able to see, be a part of that ceremony. We had a lot of kids represented at the National Honor Society. It was neat to see. We had Mr. Weiss come in as the guest presenter, who was a former teacher in the building, did a really nice job, so that was neat to see. Did my first parent-teacher conferences at the elementary building. The kitchen staff put on a great dinner as well, so a lot of parents going through the building. I was able to be part of the first senior versus faculty basketball game, so I didn't bring a whole lot to the table, having a wrestling background, but it was very fun to be a part of it, to see how much participation we had with not only just that building, but the whole district is very unified. So it was fun to see, and I do think the kids for a little bit thought they actually had a shot, but they did not. So the faculty did win that one. There was a Feed My Starving Children was put on by the district. The FCCLA, the FFA, and the SNAP group went out, and they were a part of that process. And I can't remember what city that was in, but they went out and took part in that, which was really a neat thing to hear about. I didn't actually get to see it, but I heard a lot about it. The Visual Arts Classic, which is like the art state tournament, just happened, so hopefully they'll be coming in for the next Spotlight in Education. We had 4 gold medalists in there and 4 silver medalists. Solo Ensemble, the 9th through 12th, happened in the building, so I got to hear some of that, and rumblings throughout the building. The building quickly fills up with a lot of bodies and a lot of students, so fun to see. Then 2 upcoming events. We have this Friday, the book fair and movie night, which I have heard a lot about, so I'm going to be able to stick around a little bit of that to see before I head back to Wausau. But I've been told that our staff puts on not only a book fair, but a movie night, and very impressive. They donate their own time to come in and put this on for the students within our district, which is, I think, a really neat to see that our staff do that. And it sounds like it's that a lot of involvement both by students and faculty, so I'm looking forward to that. And then forward testing week of the 25th, Mr. Gillis and Ms. Kaler have been working hard on getting that ready, so I don't envy those 2 individuals getting that ready to rock and roll here shortly. So a lot has happened in the last couple weeks.
Did we have some basketball recognition to hand out today too, Josh? Did you hear how our basketball teams did? I don't mean to put anybody on the spot, but does anybody?
Oh, the 6th grade?
Yeah.
This weekend?
They did?
They took first.
Yeah.
The traveling team?
Yep.
I heard they took a first, is what I heard.
Yeah, there are 22 teams get invited down to, we played in Green Bay, or around there. And they put Division 4 and Division 5 together. So we play a lot of big schools. There's not very many Division 5 schools that even play. So, yeah, we had a good day, or 2 days. We played 7 games in 2 days, so the kids were tired.
Yeah, I bet. Very good. Okay. Thank you, Josh. All right, so then next we'll move on to the contemplated closed session.
Future agenda item.
Oh, sorry, future agenda items. Does anybody have anything that they'd want to put on the future agenda that we want to throw out?
Sorry I was on the meeting board, but go ahead.
Okay. Now we'll move on to the contemplated closed session. So that's my opportunity to thank you guys all for coming in and for all your support. Again, I just can't make it through one meeting without skipping an item.
Well, you know.
My paragraph got smaller.
You did, yeah. I have some answers for you too on that one.
Good.
If you want, Greg, you can say.
The last 2 weeks.
You can either read it or you can just say.
Once a man, twice a child.
I can just say C pertaining to this.
Okay. All right, then I will entertain a motion to move into closed session.
I'll move.
I will second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that we move into closed session in accordance to WSS 19.85, paragraph 1C, for the purpose of employment and compensation of a staff member. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Then I'll pull do a roll call. Dave?
Yes?
Pete?
Yes.
Myself? Yes.
Yes.
Brent?
Yes.
Tom? Nettie?
Yep.
We are enclosed. Okay, we're in open session. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I will move to adjourn.
I will second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Yeah.
Motion passes. We are adjourned.